everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is RicketyGames. I'm Sydney, and today we are back with Alone in the Dark. This will be Emily Hartwood's playthrough, since we just completed Edward Carnby's playthrough. I'm very curious to see how this game will unfold differently from her perspective. My guess is that she deals with a lot more of the happenings and goings-on within the Derceto mansion, rather than the supernatural, Lovecraftian elements of the story. I enjoyed the throwbacks to the original game, with Mr. Gray's apartment, and some of the lines towards the end of the game from Jeremy. I'll be very interested to see if the ending changes at all, as well as we find more things, perhaps unlock more lagnaps, and see if there's any diversion in the path to the ending. So we don't really need an introduction to this game, so let's just get right on to it. Snack! I hear they taste like chicken. Frogs. You could probably do a cool cross-cut between Emily and Edward's playthrough as like one long movie type cut. Because it seems like she gets to some of the things first.
So, your uncle.
Or he does.
What's wrong with him?
He's possessed.
As in the devil?
Something like that.
Wouldn't you like to know?
He says a dark man is following him. Watching him at all times.
What do you make of it?
It's nonsense, of course. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me. You see, it runs in my family.
Possession?
No, detective. Deteriorating melancholy. Practically every member of the Hartwood family is driven mad before they grow old.
I love the
But Jeremy didn't kill himself.
sights.
Is that why he's at Derceto?
Despite being convinced that he is truly possessed, he decided to put his last chips on Dr. Gray and his psychoanalysis, figuring he might stumble upon some cure.
You mentioned the letter.
I received a disturbing letter from Jeremy accusing the staff and all the other patients of being involved in some cult. And now they are also out to get him.
Could it be real? Or is it all just in his head?
It's a story he tells himself, Mr. Carnby. Anything to avoid the truth.
Which is?
That we're all terribly insignificant. That people mean so very little to one another. That there is no one out to get Jeremy Hartwood because he isn't worth getting.
Here we are.
Here we are. Something I didn't mention yet is that we will watch the cutscenes. This first one probably doesn't change, and it hasn't changed so far. But we will watch the cutscenes.
My uncle's not well, Mr. Carnby. I want to make sure he's all right.
Then what's my part in this? You couldn't get a cab?
I just wouldn't feel safe going alone.
And yet you'll be alone the whole game. But yeah, we'll watch all the cutscenes because she should have different cutscenes from him throughout the game.
Did you bring a gun?
Yeah. You think it'll actually come to that?
No. But you might need to wave it around depending on how agreeable the staff will be.
What exactly are we gonna do when we find Jeremy?
I don't know. Let's just find him first.
Right, we choose Emily Hartwood. Already so good. I mean, I just off the bat love their mannerisms and everything, because I know I said this last time, but I just love the way that everybody's kind of captured. So I'll say this as well. So last time I went with Detective Carnby because I was really interested in being the outsider. Since we ourselves are outsiders to this case, it'll be interesting to approach everything as Emily Hartwood, who knows Jeremy and probably knows the staff at Derceto. So she'll have probably more of an in with people, as they'll treat her less like a stranger, less as an annoyance or a bother. They'll be more likely to respect her as well. I'll be interested to see kind of more and probably newer interactions with people that we've already interacted with, but there was a lot of people we didn't really get to talk to as much with Mr. Carnby, so I'm sure that probably Emily would maybe have more interactions with them. Mrs. Thompson, for example, we have almost no interaction with her with Mr. Carnby, so I'll be curious to see if there's anything more with Emily. Same thing with the orderlies, Lottie and Baptiste, things like that. So let's get to it. Oh, he goes up to the door.
Hello?
It's so quiet. Where is everyone?
This is a big place. Maybe they're on the other side of the house.
Stay here. I'll have a look.
She kind of leans her way inside. It's so interesting to me that they immediately split up and that they wouldn't at least try to go around together, particularly since she said she didn't want to be alone. And then in the latter half of the game, Mr. Carnby says he doesn't want to be alone. So she does have a little pistol. Aha, look at that. And then I'll disappear for a second. So right behind me, you can see she's got her little flask. It's a more feminine looking flask. And then she looks like she has her automatic weapon there as well. Less manual. It looks like an handgun. That's what I'm trying to think of. Not because Mr. Carnby has a revolver, which is a little bit more manual. This looks like an automatic handgun. Very tiny. I don't know guns, but from all the movies and noir shit that I've watched, that's what little guy, little cricket. Alright. Well, I don't have to explore. I know what's around here. Key.
What's this?
And a flashlight. Nice. And the garden key. I can oogle less and do more shit. Also, last time I was thinking this would be more similar. So, obviously, reimagining of the very first game, the plot of the first game. And I think I missaid that this took after the 7th game. This game is the 7th game in the series. It takes after the plot of the first one, and obviously like bits and pieces of the rest of them. It's a reimagining of the first game, but I was thinking that this was Jeremy's mansion when we first played this with Mr. Carnby, and it's actually a separate home that he is at, which I picked up in the dialogue, but I was still thinking maybe he owned it and had people in to help him, something like that. So I was thinking the place was like abandoned when it obviously is not. Alright, I'll shut up and get going. What's that? Gimme things? Yeah, drinks. So we got 2 drinks. I guess our little buddy's in there. He's still hanging out. Yeah, what? Oh, and he's gone. Glad to know he's still there. So yeah, we have the chain, the bolted chain here. I don't know if we get to unlock it.
I don't think I'll be able to get in there.
Probably not. But she could probably easily find the bolt cutters as well. It looks like we're obviously going to find the same conclusions, but how we arrive there is going to be different, so be very interesting to see how we get there or not. Oh, also. Oh. When I get back, 1918, John Marcus. So that's her engagement ring.
When I get back, John Marcus, 1918.
Okay. It's out of order, but that's fine.
Surprise.
Oh, Jeremy's warning. So, we get to read this letter. We didn't get to read it last time.
Dearest Emily, Derceto is the prey of evil, and now they're all in on it. The staff and all the patients are nothing more than a mindless cult set to awaken the bayou. I see now that it was wrong of me to try to survive the madness of the Dark Man. You will also learn that soon enough. Every hour that passes where I deny him his right to my sanity makes it worse for the people I care about. He perfectly staged his world in order to conduct my fall. And I have to fall, Emily. Stay away, my dearest niece. Stay as far away from Derceto as you can. Someday you may understand what I've done. May God forgive me. Farewell, Jeremy Hartwood.
And then that's what the letter looks like in his handwriting. Yeah, I definitely see why she came. He's saying goodbye. And he's trying to say that where he thought he would get help in Derceto is actually not the case, and it's much worse. That the patients there are a part of the evil that he's kind of trying to get away from. And we know that to be true. Or at least true by the end of Mr. Carnby's playthrough, in the ending that I got, at least. I don't know if there's a way that people don't get indoctrinated into the cult, but we'll find out. Yeah. It's kind of funny, though, with notes like that, you know, he's saying, stay away, there's, you know, don't come here, there's nothing for you here. People tend not to listen to those notes and get freaked out and then come. If he wrote, like, I'm great, everything's good, have a good day, like, would be suspicious, but people would be like, I'm glad to hear you're okay, and probably would leave it alone. Okay, boom, there we go. This is what I wanted to check out right here. So we do have our long yaps. So goat without horns. We've completed 8 of 15, which is pretty good. We can say about halfway. So that's pretty good. And obviously the game itself told us as well that you can't get all of them in one go with one character. You would have to get them both with both characters, or probably multiple playthroughs, but good to know. And then let's see what our narrator lady has to say about our predicament now.
Surprised by her own reckless decision, Emily found herself breaking into Derceto. She mulled over how to present her story in case she got caught, but couldn't think of anything that sounded convincing. She wasn't much of a fast talker. Best to find a way to open the front door and let Detective Carnby inside so he can handle the situation.
I love that accent. I love it. Alright, good to know. And we don't have our map yet, so... Oh, I'm sneaking for no reason. Do we have our map? Nope. Alright, no map. Woo! The birds are coming for me. I don't believe there's anything we can find up here yet, but I'm gonna take a gander. Looking at you sideways, tree. Oh. Housekeeper's key. That's right. Good to have. Tree.
This must be older than Derceto. They've built the house around it.
Yes, they have. You can very clearly see the greenhouse is definitely made to fit the tree. It's, it would be beautiful if we didn't know what we know. Alright, moving on. We can't get up here yet, probably. Definitely not. And there's nothing over here either. Except for this box. With some drinks. We love drinks. Alright, we go down. And knowing the house a little bit better will definitely help. I was wandering around trying to investigate before we even got here. I was like, oh, I'll go to all these things. We might not come back here. Oh, we will come back. Don't worry. Past me is always worried that we'll be locked out of places. Present me.
Take this.
Yeah, we will. We want 4 drinks. Hell yeah. Present me is always worried about that, as I was trying to say. I'm always like, you know, it's one of those things where, like, you know, I try to wander and get all the information that I can, but you wander into the cutscene, you might get locked out of something. I know now in this game how it plays out, obviously, but, you know, when you don't know, it's always the the gamble. Alright, so I think this is the same. So I'll scroll through the text if you guys want to have a gander at it. But I don't think we need to linger here. It's important to know the shop name and stuff, but I think we're okay otherwise, so I'm just gonna move on. Get some stuff, like some bullets. Nice. Pistol bullets. Nice. That does not open. So I'm glad she has a little gun, so that's nice. Any bullets in the fridge? Yep. Good. I love bullets in the fridge. In the pantry. The meat pantry. Nothing around the sides here, but we got our lovely trunk with some drinks. We should be full up on drinks now. We got 5. So already doing better than we were. Some bullets. I don't know who hides bullets in the kitchen, but apparently Mrs. Thompson is packing. Ruth and Mrs. Thompson, man, they are not to be messed with. They got bullets everywhere. Ruth had the machine gun ammo in her room. We were like, oh. That doesn't open. That side doesn't open. And this is the laundry room. And that's how we get out. So, 1 second. Because this, yeah. Go in the cellar. Get all of our stuff and things. This is locked.
I need the key.
Yes, we do. We love bullets everywhere. This is one hell of a kitchen. I like pizza and bullets. I've definitely come to the right place. Ah, yes, the boiler room.
Please do not touch the boiler. It is working after all.
Great. I'm glad it's working. So this
That doesn't look safe.
yeah, no, it's not. Ah. So does she get to travel to the other worlds as well? Or maybe is that something she can just look at? I'll be very curious to know. Because she doesn't take the talisman. Edward Carnby does. And this is the way up, right? That's right. Alright, let me go check out the laundry room. Oh yeah. That's where we came from. Alright, now let's go upstairs. Into the house. This is bolted, but we might as well get it on our map for later. Let's go in the bathroom. I don't... Oh... Is there bullets in here? Nope. No one's hiding bullets in the bath. Oh, hi Remy. Goodbye. Lottie's room. I definitely want to see if we can unlock the medicine thing in this one. I hope I don't lose. Nice. So we should have our map now. Hell yeah. Find the Piazza key. Good to know.
Oh, what's this?
We have the Piazza key. Full of drinks, so we can't grab that. And we got Lottie's diary.
June 22nd.
We've already heard that, so same deal there. Alright. Yep. Map is good. Library is locked. Yep.
I need the key.
Piazza key. Let me out. And don't lock me in here later. It's disturbing that there's like blood and broken banister here. Nobody comments on it. Very interesting. I assume that she's probably been here before.
I need the key.
Or at least knows the people here, but maybe not. By her reaction. That's the front door. We'll get there. 1 second. I really do wonder if there's something with the bells or if they're just there to be funny.
The Great Depression. President Hoover.
Alright, and we've heard this too. We'll do a little scroll here, which is good. And then we'll keep on. We don't have the clerk key. And this is Mr. Gray's waiting area. And this should be barred. All right. Don't close on me. So rude. The doors have a mind of their own. Okay, let's go out and let Mr. Carnby in, who's just hanging out. You know, as you do.
Wait, don't.
He's like, damn it.
Excuse me? Do you know where I can find Jeremy Hartwood?
Of course not.
McCarthy, what are you doing? I told you not to lose sight of the girl.
Don't you worry, Mags. I'll find that little rascal.
Who are you people? What are you doing here?
I'm sorry about all this, but I'm looking for my uncle. His name is Jeremy Hartwood.
What are you doing, child? You shouldn't be alone. Go find McCarthy.
Who are you? Are you here for the Fay Dodo?
Go upstairs now.
My name is Emily Hartwood. I'm the niece of Jeremy Hartwood. This is Detective Carnby.
The police? Why are you here?
No, I'm a private investigator. Sorry to bother you. My client's worried about her uncle. He's a patient here at Derceto. If you don't mind, could you direct us where to find him?
No, I can't. Jeremy has gone missing.
Oh.
If you leave your information, I will make sure to contact you.
Wait, he ran away?
No, he won't leave the house. He's around here somewhere, and both of our orderlies are looking for him.
That's unacceptable. Where's Dr. Gray? I want to speak with him immediately.
Fine, I'll ask him. Wait here and don't touch anything.
That was definitely different.
Do you want to see Jeremy's room?
Can you show us?
Follow me.
Thank you, Grace. That was way different. So before, we just kind of steamrolled our way in. But with Emily, we get permission to be in. Don't move or touch anything. Immediately moves and touches everything. Thank you, Grace. I wonder why McCarthy didn't want us to come in. She was like, don't.
Thank you. Strange kid.
Let's look around, see what we can find.
Yes, sir. Very interesting. We're seeing the changes already. So we need this key. We know it's not in here. We have a cool box. And we need to find one more piece for it, don't we?
What kind of stuff are we looking for? I've never been part of an investigation before.
Letters, diaries, receipts, all sorts of notes.
Yes, sir. Is that all I can say? Nope.
I've read about police analyzing teeth marks and blood samples and fingerprints to find criminals. Is that something you can do?
No, that sounds more like the way the Bureau of Investigation does things. But, you know, if you do find teeth or blood, it's still worth mentioning.
Definitely. Man.
We should talk to Dr. Gray when we're done here. He is the one who runs the hospital. He must know something about what's happened.
Yeah, I just want to get a feel of what we're dealing with here first.
Of course.
Good luck with that. And that looks like all we can do is to say. So this also looks the same. Oh yeah. Interesting. So in this, Emily takes it. And the tile. I love me the tile. But that's interesting. So she previously just immediately went for the portrait. In this, she does the things. Let's pop this together. Oh. Boom. Nice. And this...
Have you ever seen anything like this? Looks like a talisman.
You mean like this one?
That's different.
Can you find me a knife to cut the canvas? I want to take this with me.
You want to take the painting? Sure, I'll find one. I found this tube as well. Should keep it safe for you. Do you want to carry it, or should I? Miss Hartwood? Emily?
I'll take it. Thank you.
My precious.
We're done here, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know how to do any of this.
Listen, I think we should talk to Dr. Gray. He must know something about what's going on around here.
Okay. Let's do that.
Come on, I don't want to be here all night.
This kind of seems like the way it would go, in my opinion.
Detective Carnby? Where did...
Things are different.
What on earth is happening? What is this place?
So she does travel. Interesting. Then what is she thinking he's so crazy for? Or I wonder... Well... we're back in the French Quarter. So, a couple of major changes there. One, the portrait is here, in plain sight, as opposed to buried and she goes to grab it and pull it out. But also... she's drawn to the painting in this. Now, I know it's probably being player-centric, right, in order to move the story forward, but kind of seems like it's almost just inverted. So what I'm trying to say is basically that Emily's going to go through all of the stages that Mr. Carnby went through, that we went through with him, with slightly different variations on it, but ultimately will be going across the story in a similar way and experiencing similar things, and I guess Mr. Carnby is going to be the one who's like around Derceto, not understanding what's going on. So that's kind of interesting. I was expecting like that her playthrough would be different entirely from his, and that's maybe not the case. Also, just as a side note, I'm kind of realizing since we've seen the creatures and stuff, this is kind of like what they look like. It's not exact because it's more of a skeleton, human body type of thing, but the creatures that we face are kind of similar to that a little bit. All right. Well, let's keep on with the memory present that we're in. So she's the one who's going to be disappearing, not Mr. Carnby. I think that's very interesting. Buggies! Get out of here. No soot sprites, thank you. Oh. Nice, a lot of bullets. And I'll just do this right now. My lord. Y'all take so many bullets. And I know there's
What the hell was that thing?
Yep. Oh, she can reload so much faster. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, she has to walk still when she reloads, but it's one cartridge that she puts in there to reload. That's so much nicer. With Carnby, he has to like load the 6 bullets, which I get for realism, but boy, is it painful when you're trying to do it in a hurry. That's nice. Very interesting. I'll take those, thank you. Who's squeaking? Get out of here. No squeaking. Alright, we're in the French Quarter. We're on the mystery in the night. I think there's some stuff here.
I can't go that way.
Understood, ma'am, but I'm getting bullets. Can we ring the bell here? No, no bell. On we go.
This can't be.
I'm glad that we're all having an existential crisis at this moment. I did expect Mr. Carnby to have a little bit more of an existential crisis as like a gumshoe detective who's very like set in the... Do I need any help? Nope. Can't take that. For Mr. Carnby, he's so, you know, realistically like,
I can't go that way.
What am I trying to say here? I just feel like he should have like freaked out a lot more because he's like less inclined toward magic and crazy shit. And she's probably a little bit more open-minded about it, knowing her family, or at least just knows of it and is like a little bit more interested in seeing it. But yeah, I mean, I know also they just gotta get on with it. And he shouldn't be a crumpled mess on the floor, but you know, we're going for realism. He did cry in the elevator, which I appreciate because I would. Okay, we need to go in the store first, no? What if I just skipped that whole store and just moved on? That'd be really weird. What the fuck?
Emily, is that you?
How'd you not recognize her?
Baptiste?
How'd you get here?
I was back at Derceto. Looking for my Uncle Jeremy?
Jeremy's your uncle. I didn't know.
You know each other.
You're still working at Derceto?
Yeah, both me and Lotta stuck around. We're real orderlies now. You remember my sister Lotta, don't you?
What happened, Baptiste? How are we here?
You know about the dark man haunting your uncle?
I'm familiar with his mental state.
I think we all in his head somehow. Because these streets are real, but they're not like on any map. Nah, this is like when you remember something, but in the wrong way.
Do you know how to get back to Derceto? I'm not safe here.
Truer words have yet been spoken, Mrs. Marcus.
Don't call me that. It's Miss Emily Hartwood. There's no reason to call me anything else.
I'm sorry, Miss Emily. I'm just trying to tell you like it is. This place ain't safe for no one. There's evil hiding in the dark.
How do I get back?
Only Jeremy knows how. He has this juju necklace guiding him.
You mean this talisman?
Mm-hmm. Just like it. He says it's been protecting him ever since he got it from Miss Jackson down the street.
You know where it came from? Have you been there?
I was there no more than 1 hour ago looking for Jeremy. Locked it up to keep the ghouls from getting inside. You can have the key if you want.
Thank you. I'll take a look.
Stay safe, miss.
Whoa! Alright, we get his keys, which is great. 3 keys on the chain. The clerk's office, the library, and then Miss Jackson's place, which is where we need to go. Okay, but wow! Hold the phone! So many things happened there. So they know each other. Baptiste and Emily definitely know each other because he recognized her instantly, but he didn't know that she's his niece? Huh. Maybe it's because it appears that when they met each other in the past, she was Mrs. Marcus, which does not seem to be the case now. He must have died in the war or disappeared during the war, her husband. So that's very interesting. I don't know why he wouldn't immediately recognize her, when she turned around, instead of like manhandling her like in a chokehold and then boom, like you wouldn't recognize her before that moment. I feel like he would. Maybe heat of the moment type of thing, but my sir, it's very interesting that he does that to her rather than to Mr. Carnby, because he doesn't do that at all to Mr. Carnby. He shuts the door behind him and then kind of uses like his stature to threaten him and size him up. And we certainly didn't get as much information out of him as Emily does, because he doesn't trust Mr. Carnby, so obviously he wasn't going to tell him a lot of things. So he just told us straight what was going on and that he doesn't know how to get out, and that he was here looking for Jeremy, trapped inside his memory. So we get to learn that this is in fact a memory earlier on, whereas with Mr. Carnby, it's not until we were like in the 3rd or 4th memory that we even find out that it is a memory at all. So that's very interesting. Let's chat.
Are you staying here?
For a while. Want to see if Jeremy shows up.
Here's my other question, though. So he's saying, I don't know how to get out of here, because Jeremy uses the talisman to get in and out, right? The Juju necklace is what he referred it to. How does he get out? They seem to be aware. He's aware of where they are, that it's in a memory, kind of, right? The way that he put it was like, I know that the streets are real, but they're not like on a map, and they're as if somebody's misremembering it. But the things that are happening are real in the memory, right? The physical toll that it does take on you. There are enemies here. You are in danger. And we know he gets out. So how does he go in and out? Or does the whole household just know how to get in and out and they're just not saying it? It's kind of odd, because his confusion as to what the place is would imply that he can't get out, because he said he's trapped here in the memory. So there's something there.
Your sister, she also works at Derceto?
Yeah, she the one who got us jobs.
Lottie.
Be careful, okay?
You said it, miss.
All right. Goodbye, sir. I'll leave you to it. And we can't go back here, I don't believe. Nope. All right, now we leave. Oh, damn, we just smacked the door open. Although it looked like we could totally just bypass this whole scene and just go straight down the street. But I guess you would have to come back because you need to get the key. So I guess while you could just leave, it wouldn't really behoove you to, because you'd have to come straight back. Aha, yes.
What's this?
Ow! Bruh. Get whipped, bitch!
My weapon broke!
Well, that's a little sad. I'm kind of surprised that Bautiste doesn't come out here and save me. Since I am a chick, after all, in the 1930s. Let's take this health. Drink up! And we'll take this, and then we're all full up. So now we gotta use our gun. Although, if there's a... That's just a brick. Is it worth fighting him? I don't know if it is. Oh. He saw me. Good lord. He's still dying in funny ways though. Look at that. Ew. Well, that was something. He investigated quickly. Alright. No Molotovs here, sadly. Bullets? Bullets! Yay! Any bells? Any bullets? think we're good. On we go to Miss Jackson's. I'll definitely take a hatchet, please. Annabelle!
I can't go that way.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. The Silent Hill fog is a no-go. In we go. Through the gate. Into the mystery. Isn't there a whole bunch of things here? Take that. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of people here, right? Nice! Nice! Made a racket, but we good. Didn't get the bullets. Bullets? No? Come on. Nice. Buddy boy's upstairs, I believe. Unless he comes down here to get me. Isn't there another one? Come on. Ew. Little rumples on the floor. Ugh, so jiggly and nasty. Alright, well, I set the place on fire, so that was a thing. I think we're good, so we should be unbothered relatively till we get upstairs. My axe is about to break already! Oh, that was unfortunate. Nice! Nice! That was sick. Also, I don't think I've mentioned it out loud, but the Molotovs, since we just threw one on the stairs, evidently, if you throw it at an enemy, there's a chance it'll ignite itself for some reason. Otherwise, you can just shoot it to ignite it if it does not do it itself. But it's kind of a chance if it does, and you can save a bullet. So that's useful. These guys, right here. Funsies. Hello?
This must be Miss Jackson's place.
Good times.
Let's see if we can find out more about Jeremy's talisman.
That is a very tiny coffin I did not notice before. That's fucked. I don't think we have the key for this yet. A broken mirror! Someone has 7 years bad luck. I don't think I really examined all of the shit on the table before. We got bones. Got the plate. Got garlic. Nice. Probably looks like sage, maybe. Somebody's tears. A serpent's tears? Is that what it says? I think it's a serpent's tears. Hard to get. I love it. I love it. This whole shop is my aesthetic. All right. So she does get it.
Like Jeremy's talisman.
So she does get the talisman, and here I thought the portrait would be doing something. Okay, and it reads the same. Fancy.
I think it's meant to hold the talisman.
Yep. But we need the numbers, which are in the book. Or rather on here, 358.
I'm not sure what numbers I should use. Maybe there's something in Jeremy's notes.
The right direction would be good.
What's that picture in the glass?
It's here.
Where is that?
Here. It's in front of you. You don't recognize the torn-ass painting? Yep, that's never not gonna be creepy.
Good to see you again, Miss Hartwood. Mrs. Thompson told me you were here. She also alerted me that you brought a detective with you. I'm very curious to hear what this is all about. You don't remember me, do you, Miss Hartwood? We met at your family's house in the Garden District, when your uncle was about to be admitted under my care.
No, I remember. Sorry. I'm not really feeling well.
Oh, in that case, have a seat. Let me make you a drink.
Some cognac to settle your stomach.
I don't seem to have made much of an impression on you. On the other hand, I can vividly recall you and your parents.
Because of our cheerful disposition, I'm sure.
We're like filthy.
You are far too intelligent to think that. You come from a joyless family, Miss Hartwood. The only amusement I took from my visit was discovering that the young lady's drink was an old-fashioned.
Very astute. Is that supposed to make you seem attentive or intelligent?
Whatever you prefer.
Ooh, spicy back. I like
Are you
it.
ready to tell me why you are here, Miss Hartwood? And why you brought a detective?
I received a letter from my uncle. He seems certain that he was in danger here. If I find out you're treating him badly, I'll be taking him back with me to New Orleans.
Really? Is he going to live with you in your tiny garçonniere?
Good, none of your business.
That would be a spectacular way to ratify your spinsterhood. Because you are well aware that your father would never let him back in his house. No, I have it. Maybe you can bring him back up north. You've been wanting to move back for quite a few years, haven't you?
Fuck you.
You always preferred your mother's side of the family. Jeremy is free to leave with you. I won't object. However, there is one problem, as you might have learned. He is, in fact, missing.
Do you know where he could have gone?
No, I'm afraid I don't. I have my staff looking for him. I'm sure he will show up eventually. Especially if he learns that you are here. He is quite fond of you.
What can you tell me about his condition? I never heard a proper diagnosis. What is your medical opinion of him?
Well, let me think. He is an anxious man, depressed, even. He suffers from a perceived lack of order in his inner and outer life. He constantly complains about events not presenting themselves according to their divine nature.
And the Dark Man?
Hard to tell if it was ever anything specific. Jeremy uses the Dark Man as a psychological scapegoat to avoid facing the truth that he is in any way at fault.
You don't think there can be any truth to the Dark Man's supernatural existence?
Why would you ask that?
Can we ever be sure?
If the Dark Man is some sort of evil presence that is in possession of Jeremy?
Well,
I assure you, any evidence that you experience supporting that claim is purely delusional. Don't get caught up in mass hysteria, Miss Hartwood. You wouldn't want to take your uncle's place in this hospital, would you?
I'll be leaving now, Doctor. I need to keep looking for my uncle.
Do so, Miss Hartwood. I'll let you know if he shows up.
Jesus, let me pick my jaw off the floor. God, I know it's the 1930s, but fuck you, dude. That was absolutely...
Detective Carnby. God, I'm glad to see you. I was afraid you had left.
Me? You're the one who just disappeared.
It's hard to explain. I think I blacked out. It was like I went somewhere else.
It's okay, miss. You're clearly upset.
No, I don't know what's happening.
This is a very stressful situation for you, I understand.
Ugh, no, you don't understand.
Just take a deep breath. Why don't you sit down, smoke some of the perique? If you want, I could even drive you back to New Orleans. I just want to have a talk with Dr. Gray first.
I want to stay. I found a talisman just like the one in the painting. I think I might be able to figure out where Tarawea is, where Jeremy wanted to go.
That's great. Just stay out of trouble, okay? Let me handle the investigation.
I'm not crazy, Detective. Not yet.
Okay, catch you later.
Okay, this is very interesting. So, yes, we gotta do
if
the
a
clock.
talisman like this can open up doors between the French Quarter and Derceto, then maybe Jeremy is hiding in some strange other world. Like Tarawea, the place he mentioned in the book. No matter where he is, it's clear that my search won't be limited to Derceto.
Nope, and supernatural shit does exist. Fuck you, Dr. Gray. I know the way that saying that to a doctor would be like, oh, well, do you believe in like weird hoodoo voodoo crap, like witchcraft and shit? Like, he's gonna say no, of course. But I've got a million thoughts running through my mind. The first one is that everybody is down talking to her. I know it's the 1930s, but Jesus. Even Detective Hartwood. He's like, all right, you're stressed, like you need to calm down, like you should go sit down and you should just take a break. I'll even take you back. Like, just chill out. He's absolutely, everybody is patronizing her, and I'm sure that comes with the 1930s thing. And we got none of that with Mr. Carnby, obviously. For example, he came back and was like, oh my god, I was like tripping out. Like, he didn't say what had happened when he disappeared in his playthrough, and she was like, you're just acting really weird, like, get over yourself, basically. And kind of out of concern, her emotions came from a place of like being weirded out, but also concern. She was like, are you okay? And his is belittling. He was like, you're the one who disappeared, called me here, and also you're crazy. So immediate, different reactions. Like, Emily comes off a lot more headstrong, I would say, in Mr. Carnby's playthrough, whereas in her playthrough so far, she's coming off as like headstrong, but she kind of backs down a little bit. Like, she was spicy at first with the doctor, but kind of backed down a little bit towards the end there, particularly when he took her drink and when he started talking over her. She's a little bit less self-confidence than I thought, I think, and that's very interesting to kind of see that. I kind of perceived her a little bit more hard-headed, more like kind of, I guess, progressive for the time. Very interesting, though. But the whole interaction with Dr. Gray was just, holy shit, dude. I'd, like, no. However, we did get information from him that we did not get with Mr. Carnby. He told her straight up that the Dark Man was a scapegoat, was a delusion of Jeremy's, which definitely caters to what we find out with Dr. Gray in the end, and what we find out of the Dark Man itself. We kind of find out, I guess, maybe more answers up front because they're more willing to talk to her. She's not particularly welcomed, particularly by Dr. Gray, especially when she said, like, if you're not treating him well, I'm gonna take him. But he stepped way the fuck out of line, was like, naming her apartment and like her family history and like what she can and can't do with her uncle. If you're treating him badly, it's none of your beeswax where she takes him. But I understand he was like royally pissed that she accused him of that and said it at all. I understand where the spice came from, but good lord. We've kind of seen from Emily's perspective that she's being manhandled more physically and talked down to a lot more. And she seems to just kind of keep quiet and take it in order to like hear them out, I suppose. So I hope she kind of gets a little bit stronger as she goes, as she becomes more certain of what's going on. She also just kind of came out of a really trippy situation with the jumping in and out of the memory there, so she's probably a little frazzled as well. But holy moly, I do love the differences that are happening so far. It's very fascinating. It kind of blows my theory that her investigation is planted more in Derceto, whereas Mr. Carnby's is like in and out of the memories. It looks like she just plays through the game that we played, but we get different information, different results, different items especially as well. I kind of wish that it would be completely different, but I understand that also would be like so much harder to build as a game. It would be so much bigger, right? Because you'd have to build a whole separate storyline and like what's going on with her and, you know, and stuff like that. But it's not a bad thing, I gotta say. I mean, like, I loved the game as Mr. Carnby. I'm very fascinated by the new information that we're getting, especially knowing what we know. I will say, from what I've experienced so far with Emily, the way that it plays out here is kind of probably more true to how it would happen. I imagine that she would be a lot more connected to the portrait and the talisman because of her connection with Jeremy. So it was really weird to me right off the bat that Mr. Carnby was the one who was like drawn to the portrait, things like that. So just because of the way that it breaks down her connection to the house and the family, and to the madness, the darkness, is probably a little bit in her too. I wonder if it would come into play that familial connection to Jeremy being his niece, if she will be more susceptible to the darkness, that is inside Jeremy, since it would be in her bloodline as well, in her mind as well. If that family curse is to be believed, which I think we know is roughly true. Although you could argue that that was solely to Jeremy, but we'll maybe see or explore more of that with Miss Hartwood, since we will be able to, well, see it from her eyes and through her perspective. What do you guys think so far? I think it's very interesting. I love it either way. I love the new cutscenes. It's a refreshing take on kind of what we've already seen. They've done a good job of making it the same but different, and I definitely see why you kind of want to do both playthroughs, even if they're not radically different. Anyways, that is all for now. I will quit rambling off the bat. Grab a painting, rip it right off the foundations of its little wooden structure. Grab a Manhattan or a whiskey on the rocks, whatever her favorite drink was, I don't remember anymore. And be able to drink it, and don't let anybody take it out of your hands, guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode for the very interesting flip on a world we already know. Bye.